I'm going to show it to you again. Shout out to Idle Sloth who posted this yesterday. Here it goes. Now I'm going to do a screen share. I want you guys and gals to see exactly what I am seeing. Watch the video. Watch what they're writing. Watch what they're drawing, and wait till the end. It's 1 minute and 11 seconds. I'm going to play it for you right now. Here we go. Umbra, I'm not going to front. I just got goosebumps from the tips of my toes all the way up. If you could see it, folks, I got goosebumps. Look, I don't know so much about you, but the 3 games that we already knew are amazing. They're all releasing in the first half of the year. I cannot wait to play them all. But the surprise game, and mind you, there are rumors, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not just 4 games, that it's not just 5 games. There's rumors of 6+ games potentially being announced at this developer direct, but we just got the confirmation live on the air. You watched it, you saw it. Shout out to Idle Sloth once again for posting this. That is official, folks. That is from Xbox, and that last character, Ryu Hayabusa, from, of course, Ninja Gaiden. Let's talk about it, Umbra.
I can hear myself now doing some attacks, and he's like, nimble. I can see the Izuna dropping right now. Yeah, man, I'm excited as hell. Like, we talked about this, a week ago or so.
Yep.
And
back then, it was a rumor.
It was a rumor then.
This is confirmed.
Yeah, I think it's so funny because, like, that rumor grew into everybody, like, literally sharing tweets like, oh, hey, I think it's this is going to be there. This is going to be there. Like, so I guess at a point they were just like, hey, just get a little art out there. You know, it is what it is. So if, to me, I would say the good thing outside of just this being there is the fact then that you probably have more surprises in store for the show. So that's a likelihood that we got more of the show there at the show, right? So that's a positive for that. Also, too, I would have thought maybe this was tied to like the collection that they showed on Twitter and such. But I think this is different. It's definitely not going to be that, since that has its own thing posted on Twitter. So you have to imagine then that this must be a new game in a series or something, maybe a remake even. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm really excited to see what they do here. Really excited to jump back into the Hayabusa clan and do what we have to do. I think we've all been, not all, but a lot of us been clamoring to have Itagaki back in command of Team Ninja. But
he had his studio, I believe, was Valhalla Games. I believe closed recently. I think that happened last year. I don't recall exactly when that happened, but yeah, I don't think he has anything to do with Team Ninja anymore. He's left that studio, oh my God, maybe a decade ago, maybe more than that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, we have a lot to get excited about as Xbox fans. This year is going to be absolutely insane for releases. Now, I know there's been some talk. Now, I'm watching the chat, and supposedly the artist that drew that is in the chat. Is that true? I honestly don't know. They're saying that it's not official. Okay. I
It's
mean,
not
again,
official.
I mean, I okay. If in fact, I will say this. What I know, lock it in. That's out there that's been put out there to the ether. If Microsoft found that broke any NDAs, it would have been taken down. It has not been taken down. Again, it's the internet. Is it the artist? I don't know. But all I know is that my hype meter for this show that's happening in 2 days is through the roof.
You
And
know
I
what?
think
We seem to have Sick and Mechanical inside the chat. From shout out to Sick and Mechanical.
Oh yeah, John, what's up, brother?
Yeah, if that's the case, John, give us a sign in the chat if this is right, man. Is Ryu? Are we gonna have Ryu or and popping up at the direct? Maybe you know something.
Well, I mean, he's got to be careful. John has a lot bigger channel than I do, so again, I'm just reporting what's out there. I'm not trying to break any. I'm not under any NDAs whatsoever. But look, at the end of the day, if you want to talk about hypotheticals, let's talk about hypotheticals. Ecstasies, who is a phenomenal Spanish YouTuber from Spain, has been out there talking about Ninja Gaiden. He's not the only one. There's been a lot of people that I've talked to behind the scenes that will remain nameless or unnamed that have also heard the same thing. I don't know if it's a sequel. I don't know if it's a prequel. I don't know if it is going to be in Game Pass day and date. I don't know any of these things. But I can tell you that the closer we get to this show, the more exciting things seem to be lining up. And again, there are some rumors, folks. Again, cover your ears if you don't want to hear. That has been going on over the weekend that you might get not one but two Final Fantasy announcements at this direct. And those announcements could come the way of Final Fantasy 16, which makes sense. And finally, for the love of the gaming gods, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. And again, I don't know in what order or both. Is it one? If I had to guess, Umbra, I would think that it's Final Fantasy 7 Remake simply because it has been reported by numerous sites that 2025 is going to levy that game, and in 2026, you're going to get Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth on Xbox.
I'll just say this really quick before we let my brother Jamie go. It has been way too long for those games to come to the platform. It is insane to me.
It really has been. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
because that was what PS4 for Rebirth remake. Should I say? So to even hear the thought that they'll have remake and they'll maybe have 16 this year, and then next year a whole nother year out. Even though PC just got, or at least will be getting in 2 days, I already got it pre-ordered.
Yes,
Rebirth. It's like Square. We talk about mismanagement. What were you thinking?
It was a bag, dude. It was a bag.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Why would they dedicate themselves straight to one platform like that? It makes no sense. And this is Square, who we always see whining about not being able to hit quotas. Like, oh, these didn't meet the sales.
They've said that for years.
All the time. Like, this is why they no longer have a Western division, because they just kept setting these quotas, but then dedicate themselves to one platform idiotically. I don't understand it. So I say all that to say, like, I wonder, is that a little too late for some of these titles coming over? I'm sure some people may have never, may have waited and say, I'm excited to play these over here and get some achievements on them, right? I'm sure of that. I just feel like, man, you wasted so much time to finally now get this thing over there. It's silly, and you lost so much more, like people who would have probably bought this game flat out. You know what I mean? It's just silly to me to think about it, but it's well past time. I guess you can say no use of crying over spilled milk. It is what it is. If it's coming over, good. It just seems so silly to me. I just get annoyed because it's like, what decision making was going on over there to have them ignore. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But to those who may not have played those games, hey, I'm happy for you if you're excited for these to come over and play it. I'm never going to be poo-poo a game coming over, right? Hey, it is what it is. So if that is one of those are some of the games that's shown, you should be excited, because we know that remake, had got crazy acclaim.
Yeah.
And
Great game, by the
16,
way.
it is from what I've I haven't played it myself yet, but I do own it on PC. But in 16 I did play, and I think 16 I came to like a 7.5, if not an 8. And some people love that much more than me. So you all are going to like that too if you give it a chance. So those are good games coming. That is the positive. I just hate how Square does business, and I hope that they've learned from that and don't do that nonsense again. That goes forward to
Oh no,
Kingdom
they're
Hearts and everything.
definitely out of the can. I'll say this, regarding your concern with Square. I think what you're going to start to see is a lot of the main publishers are moving away from doing deals with Sony because it just doesn't pay off in the end. They're gamers at PlayStation. Listen, you folks, 85% of PlayStation 5 owners are casual. Casual audience don't buy Final Fantasy games. Do they occasionally? Sure. But they are, again, all you have to look is the trends. Marvel Legends has over 30 million players. It's a free to play game. They can keep adding characters. Again, one of my favorite YouTubers outside of gaming is Den of Nerves. And, I was watching Josh in the latest episode, and what he was saying is pretty interesting that game has snatched the zeitgeist, and it's bringing people into comic shops who have never bought books in years or at all to buy books based on the characters that they're playing in a free-to-play game, mind you. So, again, it's one of those situations where companies are having a difficult time keeping up with these black hole games, the Fortnites, the Apex Legends, obviously the Warzone, Call of Duty. These are games now Marvel rivals have taken over where people want to spend their time. And most of these places, they don't even have to spend any money. And that is a problem for the games industry. It is absolutely a big problem. And that's why you're seeing Xbox put games on PlayStation. And I really think you're going to see PlayStation put games on Xbox. I really do. So John from Xbox Era says this: I think folks are in for a very good time on Thursday, and that's all that matters. Indeed, I think you're onto something, but there is something to be said about being excited as an Xbox fan, and we have just been winning. I'm sorry. If you're an Xbox guy or gal, you cannot argue that you have been winning as a customer or a consumer, whatever you want to call yourself. Game Pass, if you're subscribed and you're frugal, you can get it for less than $10 a month. If you can't find it, and that's fine. If you want to be just lazy and just charge it to a card, even at $20, Jamie Moran, it's a great deal. But let's get into whether it's official or it's not. Okay, I was under the impression that it was official because they had the logo and everything was set up fine. If it's not, okay, my mistake. But I have heard from numerous places that Ninja Gaiden will be there. Are they wrong? Is it a rumor? I don't know. But I know that I'm not the only one that have talked about it. I know I'm not the only one who's an OG that wants a game like that to come to Xbox in a big way. And I think that this developer direct is going to be, I mean, listen, you heard Jez Corden literally say in a tweet that this is going to be bigger than even Xbox, knew about. Like Xbox fans are going to be blown away. What are your thoughts on the potential now? Let's walk it back. The potential of this Ninja Gaiden sketch, and meaning that it's going to be the fourth game, the mystery fourth game from a legendary character or IP, Japanese IP. Let's get your thoughts.
I mean, it's very possible. Microsoft's been working closer and closer with Japanese studios, so like I can see that being announced there. I mean, there's been other Japanese games announced on Xbox, so it's definitely realistic. And you have to look at it like this: in the past, 4, 5, 6 years, fast-paced, difficult melee combat games have been on the rise. Thanks to Elden Ring. And even though Ninja Gaiden isn't a Souls-like, It's a difficult, you're going to be tearing your hair out type of game. And I think people are ready for a type of game like that. And plus, it's been so long since the last one. I mean, we are getting that 2D one later this year. So I think, get the hype back up. Maybe like show off some, Dead or Alive later on this year. Like I can totally see that happening. It's definitely been long enough. But I mean, other than that, Sketch, there's not much to go on. But I think it has been long enough. I know developers in the past have said that they wanted to make a new one. Totally see that happening. But I think the big thing people should take away from the developer direct is that the fun half of this year looks loaded for Xbox games. Like basically everything that's been shown or that's going to be shown, like the rumors are, they're coming out in the next few months. South of Midnight is apparently coming out in March. Doom Eternal is apparently coming out in May. And I think a lot of people are going to be very happy because that's two big games in such a short period of time. And then you also have Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which is listed for spring, which is a wild take on a JRPG formula, but it's a Western game made by a French developer. It looks crazy. It looks weird, and I love it. I think a lot of people are going to like that. And like the surprises, like people might wonder, like, if you're not into Final Fantasy, is it going to be a big deal? I'll put it like this.
Maybe not.
Death Stranding has had the perception for years that it's a walking FedEx simulator, right? And when that came to Xbox, it was number one on the store in most countries.
Yep.
And bear in mind, that goes by revenue, not copies sold. So this £17 FedEx simulator, that literally all the footage you see online is a dude walking, carrying boxes. People were buying it in bulk, and people loved the game. They're like, oh, I was wrong about this game. They gave it a chance. And I think, Square Enix, they have the opportunity to, like, gain some favor with the Xbox audience because Xbox fans have been really angry at Square for years. And I don't think it's too late for these games to come over. Again, I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably the most requested game to come over. It's been long enough. Again, we don't know the whole situation with the contract with Sony and that, but I think the time of these massive third-party timed exclusives is kind of over. These games cost way too much to make. And, is the amount of money that these publishers, or I should say, console holders giving these publishers really offsetting the cost of what they would have made on the other platform? I doubt it. I mean, I 100% believe we're going to see Final Fantasy VII, and it'll be on Switch later this year. It's going to make a lot of money on both of those platforms. I think it's just going to be a really good show with a lot of variety. Japanese content has been on the rise on Xbox. There's been more and more stuff announced over the past few years than ever before. There's more Japanese games coming to Xbox this year than the past 5 years combined. It's going to be a crazy year. And, Final Fantasy 16, that has a huge chance to be popular on Xbox. I will be curious to see how they'll launch them, because will they be $70 full price games, or will they be discounted, much like what 505 Games did for Death Stranding? But looking at this, the developer direct, it's going to be good for Xbox fans. We were talking earlier on the show, all we've heard for this past week is game cancellations.
Yep.
Studios might be getting shut down. We don't know what's happening. And if you look at Xbox, even though people are arguing online, they're declaring on Twitter that they're going to leave the console for the 1000th time and they're going to make a Spider-Man profile picture. On Xbox, we're getting some games coming soon and they all look good. So, there's nothing really to complain about. The games are coming. The studios are proving that they have quality titles in the works. So, if you're an Xbox fan, or if you lean towards Xbox, this looks like it's going to be a very good week.